by lawyers for actor Justin Baldoni show unedited footage from the filming of One Thing. You should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. My nose is so big. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late, Justin. Maybe you need to stop talking about my wife's. Wait, what is your problem, Ryan? My money is on Blake Lively being wrong, teaching Justin how to pull you in. I love the scene. I felt good in the moment, and for her to use this vulnerable moment against me, you literally know nothing about women. Go. Just kidding. Get ready because what we've uncovered is going to blow your mind. For the first time ever, we've got access to secret text messages and voice memos that weren't even part of the lawsuit. These reveals expose shocking details about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's relationship, and trust me, it's wild. Plus, we've got some exclusive behind-the-scenes footage from the movie set, where Blake's actions completely contradict what she's saying in her legal complaint. And guess what? This is all being held onto for when the trial starts. So yeah, Blake Lively might just be turning into Amber Heard 2.0. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just wait until you see what's coming next. As time progressed in this film, she decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired, to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She wanted to be part of it. Now, what makes this drama even juicier is how Blake Lively tried to use her superstar connections, aka Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, to put serious pressure on Justin Baldoni and Sony Pictures. Her strategy was basically saying, give me this film or kiss the support of my fan base goodbye. And we're not talking about just a few followers, this is millions of fans, plus the influence of her A-list friends. And here's the kicker, her plan totally backfired. And trust me, I've got all the details on how things took a very unexpected turn for Blake. Thing is, it's just not making any sense. After working on this film for almost 2 years together, collaborating, exchanging text messages, voice memos, getting along, joking, they never had an issue before the break. And then after the break, suddenly, there's this weird thing going on with Dobie's demands. I met them at their place, and Ryan blows up on me. Then Taylor's looking at me like I'm some criminal. Yep, that was Justin Baldoni basically defending himself from all the drama Blake Lively started. And trust me, you'll better grab a whole lot of popcorn because there's way more to this story than what you've heard so far. First thing first, this whole harassment drama just isn't adding up. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni worked side by side on this film for almost 2 years, collaborating, laughing, getting along without a single issue. Then, out of nowhere, after a break, things took a wild turn. Suddenly, Blake starts making demands, Ryan Reynolds blows up on Justin, and Taylor Swift gives him a look like he's just committed a crime. But here's the part that doesn't make sense. Even after all that, Justin says they still kept it professional and respectful. They spent hours in the editing room together, going over scenes, and Blake even wanted to be part of the editing process. And then, one single no changed everything. Justin didn't even refuse completely, he just told Blake to wait until he had something put together so she could give feedback later. But that was all it took. Next thing he knows, he's locked out of his own film. Sony hands everything over to Blake, and suddenly, Ryan and Taylor are promoting it like it was hers from the start. Meanwhile, Justin, who spent 5 years working on this, gets treated like a nobody at his own movie premiere. And let's not forget Colleen Hoover, the author of the book. She was the one who chose Justin for this project. They were friends. She helped with the script, and they even promoted the movie together after the alleged harassment took place. But the moment Blake's lawsuit dropped, Colleen switched sides. She posted on Instagram, saying she supported Blake, leaving Justin completely blindsided. So what really happened here? Was this all planned from the start? Or did Blake just flip the script when things didn't go her way? Before we dive even further, let me ask you something. Have you ever Googled your name and been shocked by how much personal info is out there? Old addresses, phone numbers, and emails that you thought were long gone. It's all sitting there ready for anyone to find. I know someone who discovered their name, phone number, and an old address listed on a shady data broker site, and trying to remove it was a nightmare. They eventually paid for a privacy service, which cost a fortune. It's unsettling how easy someone can access your private details without you knowing. That's where Aura comes in. Aura helps remove your personal information from risky data broker sites that sell your info to scammers and identity thieves. But it doesn't stop there. Aura monitors the dark web for signs of your data being misused and alerts you immediately if anything suspicious pops up so you can act fast. Aura also offers up to $5 million in identity theft protection coverage and real-time alerts for financial fraud. Plus, you get a secure VPN, antivirus, and a password manager, all in one app. Don't wait until it's too late. Click the link in the description or visit aura.com/bingcentral for a 14-day free trial. Stay safe and keep your personal info where it belongs. Now, if you've been keeping up with this drama, you'd know that Justin constantly praised Blake in interviews, calling her brilliant, talented, and deeply involved in the movie. He gave her full credit for making the film better, especially when it came to intimacy scenes. He even said she had a clear vision for how things should look. It starts with us, so I'm hoping to see you back in the double-duty role. I think there are better people for that one, Justin. I think Blake Lively's ready to direct, that's what I think. But after she locked him out, took full control, and re-edited everything, she never said one good thing about him in public, despite private texts showing otherwise. In those messages, she thanked him, called him talented, and was grateful for his collaboration. And just when you thought the drama couldn't get any messier, Blake Lively made a shocking claim, accusing Justin Baldoni of being inappropriate during their intimate scenes. But wait a second. Let's take a step back and look at the original footage, the very same scene that Blake detailed in her lawsuit, where she claimed the incident took place. When the lawsuit first came out, nobody really knew what had gone down behind the scenes. All we had was Blake's accusation against Justin. There was no context, no proof, just her word. That is until Justin's legal team leaked the unedited video, and that's when everything changed. I feel so nosy, and my nose is so big. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just got to shut down. We got to call an insurance month and just deal with that, and then. As you can see, Blake wasn't just acting in these scenes, she was deeply involved in directing them. In fact, at times, she even took on the role of an intimacy coordinator, making key decisions about how these moments should play out. And yet, her lawsuit later claimed that Justin was crossing the line, improvising, and kissing her too much. But here's the twist. Before they took a break from filming, they only had 2 kissing scenes, that's it. No extra off-the-cuff moments, just 2 scripted scenes. Then, after the break, things suddenly shifted. Blake came back with a list of new demands. She refused to meet with the actual intimacy coordinator before filming resumed, making her allegations even more suspicious. It was almost like she was rewriting history to push Justin out of the picture. But this isn't just about Blake. There's another key player, Colleen Hoover. The same Colleen Hoover who had once praised Justin's script and said it was perfect. Yet, the moment Blake took control, Colleen switched sides and helped her re-edit the movie, cutting Justin out entirely. And now, let's talk about Taylor Swift's unexpected role in all of this. When Justin was casting the actress for young Lily, he was the one who found her and pushed her to get the role. But guess who made the final decision? Not Justin, it was Blake and Taylor. Even the actress herself admitted that Taylor Swift gave the final stamp of approval. And despite Justin being the one who initially discovered her, his name was never mentioned in any of the interviews. It was as if he had been erased from his own project. Well, I mean, this is all pretty much Blake's styling. She's been my stylist, and then these are her shoes, Blake's shoes. So literally all Blake. Yep. I feel so lucky. She is an angel. She is a guiding light. She's a force. She is everything you'd want as a mentor and as somebody to look up to. It's a dream. Oh, and if you think Blake was done stirring the pot, think again. She and Ryan Reynolds have been throwing shade at Justin for a while now, subtly trolling him in ways that most people wouldn't even catch. And when you put all the pieces together, everything starts to make sense. So let's go all the way back to the beginning and break down exactly what went down behind the scenes, because once you see the full picture, you'll realize this drama is way deeper than anyone ever expected. Now, as it turns out, Ryan Reynolds himself reportedly contributed to the script, tweaking scenes alongside Blake. When asked about it, one of the cast members confirmed that Ryan had written multiple scenes and made significant suggestions, something that almost no other actor would be allowed to do. But because Blake was involved, everything changed. From the very beginning, Blake and Ryan were constantly trying to rewrite lines, changing the script on a daily basis, something that caused tension behind the scenes. Blake knew exactly how to manipulate Justin in this situation. She showered him with praise, telling him he was one of the best directors she had ever worked with. She claimed that other directors had always shut her down, never letting her contribute creatively. And Justin, wanting to give her a fair chance, allowed her to rewrite an important rooftop scene. Profusely to Blake for his response to her creative changes to the film's pivotal rooftop scene. "Will you please get down from there?" "I'm good, thanks." She made sure to mention that Ryan and Taylor Swift loved her version of the scene and couldn't wait to see Justin's reaction. It didn't stop there. Blake even invited Justin to her penthouse, where Ryan and Taylor hyped up her writing, convincing Justin that it had to stay in the film. Afterward, Justin texted her, praising her talent and saying he genuinely liked what she had done. He even reassured her that he'd try to incorporate some of her ideas into the final cut. In one of their messages, Blake even went as far as comparing herself to Casey from Game of Thrones, making it clear she had powerful friends backing her up, including Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, who she said were like dragons on her side. She wasn't just throwing around names for fun. Blake was showing that she had serious influence in both the movie and music industries. But it didn't stop there. Blake pushed for more than just one scene rewrite. She wanted the entire script, and Justin was left trying to keep the peace. He let her make changes every day, hoping to keep things smooth. But as time went on, the changes became more frequent, and Blake started questioning how every single scene was being directed. Had to do with, the brilliance of Blake Lively. I don't think people realize how involved she was in this movie. She was extremely involved, and she really made the film better. And especially when it came to intimacy and all of that, she had a very clear vision, and she was telling me what she thought would work and what she thought wouldn't. Before filming even began, another issue surfaced. Allegedly, Justin had made a comment about Blake's weight, which led to accusations of fat shaming. In reality, Justin had simply asked her trainer about her weight because there was a scene where he was supposed to lift her. With his back problems, he just wanted to make sure it was safe for her. Unfortunately, that conversation didn't stay private. Blake got upset and told Ryan, who then confronted Justin at their penthouse. Ryan went off on him, accusing him of body-shaming Blake. Blake didn't stop there, though. She reportedly threatened to quit the project unless Justin agreed to do things her way. If he didn't comply, she said she'd go public with accusations that he fat-shamed her. Justin found himself in an impossible situation with no way out without damaging his reputation. At this point, Blake had successfully manipulated Ryan into taking her side against Justin over an issue that never even happened. She got Ryan so worked up that he confronted Justin. And even though Justin didn't do anything wrong, he still apologized. But then again, the tension didn't end there. The production moved forward, and Justin, trying to keep the peace, continued to work with Blake and praise her. But the underlying issues were far from resolved. Blake, despite claiming Justin had harassed her during the first month of filming, was still in regular communication with him. In fact, she even kept asking to see daily footage of the film. If she really felt harassed, it's strange that she'd be so eager to stay involved and see what was being filmed. In her texts, she seemed to be praising the clips and asking for more. This was especially odd considering that, according to her, the harassment had stopped after the break. But her actions suggested otherwise. "Hey Justin, not trying to bug you, but that playlist you sent me was good. Just checking in again about possibly seeing the dailies, one of her messages said. She went on to mention how much Ryan and Taylor loved the clips, hinting that she was already on the inside track with the support of two major power players. She wanted to see more footage and offer her input as if she were co-directing the film. Here's where things really started to go off the rails. Justin, trying to maintain boundaries and keep the production on track, refused to give her full access to the daily footage. Blake didn't take that well. She went straight to Ryan and her lawyers, complaining once again. In the end, Blake came back with a full list of demands, conditions that Justin had to meet if he wanted her to return and finish the film. This wasn't just a small request, it was a power move that put the entire production at risk. By holding up the process, Blake was potentially jeopardizing the jobs of hundreds of people and even threatening Justin's career. Even Sony, who was distributing the film, couldn't understand why Blake was making these requests. It was becoming clear that Blake wasn't just an actress on the set, she was starting to pull the strings behind the scenes, and Justin was caught in a tough position. Let's break down the leaked footage from the film that completely contradicts Blake's claims in her lawsuit about Justin intimately harassing her. In her lawsuit, she accused Justin of being inappropriate by allegedly kissing her neck, sniffing her, and telling her she smelled good. But when you watch the raw footage, it's clear that the entire scene was taken out of context. Feel so nosy. Noses and my nose is so big. Yes, I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just got to shut down. We got to call an insurance month and just deal with that. Before this was released, Blake had no idea that the audio was being recorded during the scene, and she claimed that it was harassment. However, in reality, both Justin and Blake were in character the entire time. Blake herself had suggested that they speak to each other on camera to make the scene appear more romantic. When shown in slow motion, it was all for the film, and they were joking around the whole time, not engaging in any inappropriate behavior. Their characters were just pretending to be romantic on screen, and there was nothing uncomfortable or out of the ordinary about it. In the clip, you can even hear them laughing and talking back and forth, completely casual and playful. They even joke about the script and their characters, making it clear that this wasn't a serious moment, just a part of the performance. There's no hint of harassment or inappropriate behavior from Justin. He's simply being romantic in character for the film. For example, you can hear them talking about their characters, how they have these moments where they're in slow motion, staring at each other. It's all part of their acting, with time-stopping effects making it more dramatic. At one point, Justin even compliments Blake, calling her and Ryan's relationship cute, talking about how romantic he is with his own wife. This is hardly the behavior of someone who is harassing another person. Blake, on the other hand, had no issues with the scene at all, suggesting changes to make it even more romantic. Then things took an interesting turn when the footage shows Justin caressing Blake in slow motion for a romantic shot. He gently touches her chin and lip, but all of this is still part of the character work they were doing. It's not out of line at all. When the director yells cut, everything stops immediately, no lingering or inappropriate behavior. It's simply a scene that's done in a professional manner, with the actors working together for the best shot. Blake even took control of the scene, requesting additional dialogue be added to make it appear even more romantic in slow motion. The scene originally had no talking, just Justin's character being romantic, but Blake wanted to add in some lines to enhance the effect. Justin agreed, and they filmed both versions, one with dialogue and one without. But when they were speaking as themselves, Justin never crossed any lines. He was always respectful, even joking about how cute Blake and Ryan's relationship was. Despite all of this, Blake went on to accuse Justin of harassment and body shaming. She manipulated Ryan into believing that Justin was a bad guy, which is crazy considering the two of them never worked together before. It seems like Blake convinced Ryan to believe her version of events, feeding him information that could shape his understanding of Justin. This led to the strange moment at the end of the film when Blake thanked Ryan Reynolds for playing Nice Pool, a character who's based on the Deadpool persona. Now, this is where things get a bit interesting. Ryan had never worked with Justin before, so why would he base a character on someone he didn't know? It seems pretty clear that Blake played a major role in shaping how Ryan viewed Justin and how the character of Nice Pool was written. The jokes and references to Justin's body issues are no coincidence. In one instance, Ryan jokes about low bone density and having to keep his face safe, which feels like a dig at Justin's real-life back problems. This was the same issue Blake had used to accuse Justin of body-shaming her earlier. So, let's just break it down. Blake's accusations of harassment don't hold up when you see the full context of what was happening on set. She manipulated the situation, playing both Ryan and Justin against each other. And as for Justin, it's clear that he was nothing but professional throughout the filming process. In fact, he was trying to accommodate Blake at every turn, even when she was making unreasonable demands. In addition, Justin is known for his advocacy for women and his kindness off-camera. He even has a podcast where he regularly talks about supporting women, so it's odd that Blake would be calling him a creep in her lawsuit. Interestingly, there's also talk about Justin already having the rights to the sequel, but if Blake manages to sway things in her favor, she might be able to direct the next film. This could be part of her larger strategy to take over the project, especially with her network of allies, including her husband and Taylor Swift, who both support her. The drama reached new heights when Brendan, who plays Atlas in the film, posted on Instagram supporting Blake's lawsuit. He was vocal in defending her, which makes you wonder why he would pick her side over Justin's, especially after Justin had helped him land the role in the first place. Justin, on the other hand, has maintained that he's been unfairly targeted, especially since he's been so supportive of women's causes. He described a vulnerable moment on set where Blake comforted him while he dealt with the pressure from Sony about the wardrobe controversy. To have that moment of respect used against him in a lawsuit felt like a betrayal to Justin, who has always tried to foster a respectful, collaborative environment. So, was this all a calculated move against Justin, or are these just tensions boiling over between colleagues? Either way, we're far from the end of this story. With legal battles still unfolding, there's plenty more to come. What do you think about all of this? Drop a comment below, and while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos for more juicy updates like this one.